Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadahmayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagujatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्ते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवसाधि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Prabhu, is anyone speaking?
Haribol,
Or
I was muted.
okay.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for reading the Mangats and prayers. Okay, I think this is today the chapter. Let's check. Is it 10:9? No. Yes, Prabhu. This is 10:9. So who wants to start reading?
May I, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Machitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantas chamam nityam tushyanti cha ramant cha. Machitta, minds fully engaged in me. Madgata prana, lives devoted to the service of Krishna. Bodhayanta, preaching. Parasparam, among themselves. Kathayanta, cha, talking also. Mam, about me. Nityam, perpetually. Tushyanti, are pleased. Cha, also. Ramanti, enjoy transcendental bliss. Cha, also. Translation. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss, enlightening one another and conversing about me. Purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Pure devotees, whose characteristics are mentioned here, engage themselves fully in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Their minds cannot be diverted from the lotus feet of Krishna. Their talks are solely on the transcendental subjects. Symptoms of the pure devotees are described in this verse specifically. Devotees of the Supreme Lord are 24 hours daily engaged in glorifying the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna, and they take pleasure in discussing him with other devotees. In the preliminary stage of devotional service, they relish the transcendental pleasure from the service itself. And in the mature stage, they are actually situated in love of God. Once situated in the transcendental position, they can relish the highest perfection, which is exhibited by the Lord in his abode. Lord Chaitanya likens transcendental devotional service to the sowing of a seed in the heart of the living entity. There are innumerable living entities traveling throughout the different planets of the universe. And out of them, there are a few who are fortunate enough to meet a pure devotee and get the chance to understand devotional service. This devotional service is just like a seed, and if it is sown in the heart of a living entity, and if he goes on hearing and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, that seed fructifies just as the seed of a tree fructifies with just as the tree fructifies regular watering. The spiritual plant of devotional service gradually grows and grows until it penetrates the covering of the material universe and enters into the Brahmajyoti effulgence, the spiritual sky. In the spiritual sky, also that plant grows more and more until it reaches the highest planet, which is called Golok Vrindavan, the supreme planet of Krishna. Ultimately, the plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and rests there. Gradually, as the plant grows fruits and flowers, the plant of devotional service also produces fruits, and the watering process in the form of chanting and hearing goes on. This plant of devotional service is fully described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is explained that when the complete plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, one becomes fully absorbed in love of God. And he cannot live even for a moment without being in contact with the Supreme Lord, just as a fish cannot live without water. In such a state, the devotee actually attains the transcendental qualities in contact with the Supreme Lord. The Srimad Bhagavatam is also full of such narration about the relationship between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to the devotees. In this narration, there is nothing about material activities, sense gratification, or liberation. Srimad Bhagavatam is the only narration in which the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord and his devotees is fully described. Thus, the realized souls in Krishna consciousness take continual pleasure in hearing such transcendental literatures, just as a young boy and girl take pleasure in association. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Tesham, on to them. Satata yuktanam, always engaged. Bhajatam, in devotional service. Priti purvakam, in loving ecstasy. Dadami, I give. Buddhi yogam, real intelligence. Tam, that. Yena, by which. Mam, unto me. Upayanti, come. Te, they. Translation: to those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this verse, the word Buddhi Yogam is very significant. We may remember that in the second chapter, the Lord instructing Arjun said that he had spoken to him of many things and that he would instruct him in the way of Buddhi Yoga. Now, Buddhi Yoga is explained. Buddhi Yogam itself is action in Krishna consciousness. That is the highest intelligence. Buddhi means intelligence, and Yogam means mystic activities or mystic elevation. When one tries to go back home, back to Godhead, and takes fully to Krishna consciousness in devotional service, his action is called Buddhi Yogam. In other words, Buddhi Yogam is the process by which one gets out of the entanglement of the material world. The ultimate goal of progress is Krishna. People do not know this, therefore, the association of devotees and a bona fide spiritual master are important. One should know that the goal is Krishna, and when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed, and the ultimate goal is achieved. When a person knows the goal of life but is addicted to the fruits of activities, he is acting in Karma Yoga. When he knows that the goal is Krishna, but he takes pleasure in mental speculations to understand Krishna, he is acting in Jnana Yoga. When he knows the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, which is the complete yoga. This complete yoga is the highest perfectional stage of life. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization, but still, if he is not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness and with love and devotion render all kinds of services. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. If a devotee is intelligent enough, he will make progress on the path of self realization. If one is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain him. Would anyone like to continue, Prabhu's?
Go. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Oh, very slippery, Prabhu. Okay, who wants to continue? Can someone read?
Yes, Prabhu, I want.
Thank you, Prabhu. Haribol.
तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्ता synonyms. Tesam for them, you certainly anugambartham to show special mercy. I ajnanam due to ignorance, tamah darkness, nasyam dispel, atmavidin bhavastha themselves jnana of knowledge deepen with the lamp bhasta glowing. Translation: out of compassion for them, I dwelling in their heart destroys with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Purport. When Lord Chaitanya was in Benares promulgating the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare, thousands of people were following him. Prakasanand, a very influential and learned scholar in Benares at that time, derided Lord Chaitanya for being a sentimentalist. Sometimes philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. Actually, that is not the fact. There are very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion, but even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literature or of his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. The modern philosopher thinks that without discriminating one cannot have pure knowledge. For them, this answer is given by the Supreme Lord. Those who are engaged in pure devotional service, even though they be without sufficient education and even knowledge of the Vedic principle, are still helped by the Supreme God as stated in this. The Lord tells Arjuna that basically there is no possibility of understanding supreme truth, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead, simply by speculating for the supreme truth. Simply by speculating for the supreme truth is so great that it is not possible to understand him or to achieve him simply by making a mental effort. Man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of supreme truth, he will never understand Krishna or the supreme truth. Only by devotional service is the supreme truth Krishna pleased, and by his inconceivable energy, he can reveal himself to the heart of pure devotee. The pure devotee always has Krishna within his heart. Therefore, he is just like the sun that dissipates the darkness of ignorance. This is the special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Krishna due to the condemnation of material association through many millions of births. One's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism, but when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal of Vishnu can be attained only by this chant and by devotion. Sorry, Prabhu, my mobile is uh, hanging. Devotional service and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotees rather not have to worry about the necessities of life. He need not be anxious because when he removes the darkness from his heart, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord, for he is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. This is the essence of Gita's teaching. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a complete surrender soul to the Supreme Lord and engage himself in pure devotional service as the Lord takes charge. One becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic endeavor. Prabhu, you can read, please.
Prabhu, thank you so much, Prabhu. Who wants to read next? Or should I read?
So you can improve, you read. Okay.
Okay, Haribol. Arjuna Uvacha Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Sashvatam Divyam Adidevam ajam vibhum ahustvam rishayah sarve devarishirnaradastata asito devalo vyasa svayam chaiva bravishime. Word to word. Arjuna Vacha. Arjuna said, Param, supreme, Brahma, truth, Param, supreme, Dharma, sustenance, Pavitram, purest, Paramam, supreme, Bhavan, yourself, Purusham, personality, Sasvatam, original, Divyam, transcendental, Adidevam, original Lord, Ajam, unborn, Vibhum, greatest, Ahu, say, Tvam, unto you, Rishaya, sages, Sarve, O, Devarishi, the sage amongst the demigods, Narada, Narada, Tata also, Asita, Asita, Devala, Devala, Vyasa, Vyasa, Svayam, personally, Cha also, Eva, certainly, Pravishi, explaining, Me, unto me. Translation. Arjuna said, You are the supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purifier, the absolute truth and the eternal divine person. You are the primal God, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all-pervading beauty. All the great sages as Narada, Sita, Devara, and Vyasa proclaim this of you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. Purport. In these two verses, the Supreme Lord gives a chance to the modern philosopher, for here it is clear that the Supreme is different from the individual soul. Arjuna, after hearing the essential 4 verses of Bhagavad Gita in this chapter, became completely free from all doubts and accepted Krishna as the Supreme Person of Godhead. He at once boldly declares, You are Parabrahman, the Supreme Person of Godhead. And previously Krishna states that he is the originator of everything and everyone. Every demigod and every human being is dependent on him. Men and demigods out of ignorance think that they are absolute and independent of the Supreme Lord. That ignorance is removed perfectly by the discharge of devotional service. This is already explained in the previous chapter, previous verse by the Lord. Now by his grace, Arjuna is accepting him as the supreme truth, in concordance with the Vedic injunction. It is not because Krishna is an intimate friend of Arjuna that he is flattering him by calling him the supreme personality of Godhead, the absolute truth. Whatever Arjuna says in these 2 verses is confirmed by Vedic truth. Vedic injunction affirm that only one who takes to devotional service to the Supreme Lord can understand him, whereas others cannot. Each and every word of this verse spoken by Arjuna is confirmed by Vedic injunction. In the Kena Upanishad, it is stated that the Supreme Brahman is the rest of everything, and Krishna has already explained that everything is resting on him. The Mundaka Upanishad confirms that the Supreme Lord, in whom everything is resting, can be realized only by those who engage constantly in thinking of him. This constant thinking of Krishna is Maranam, one of the methods of devotional service. It is only by devotional service to Krishna that one can understand his position and get rid of this material body. In the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is accepted as the purest of the pure. One who understands that Krishna is the purest of the pure cannot become purified from all sinful activities. One cannot be disinfected from sinful activities unless he surrenders unto the Supreme Lord. Arjuna's acceptance of Krishna as the Supreme Pure complies with the injunctions of Vedic literature. Complies. This is also confirmed by great personalities, of whom Narada is the chief. Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead, and one should always meditate upon him and enjoy one's transcendental relationship with him. He is the supreme existence. He is free from bodily needs, birth, and death. Not only does Arjuna confirm this, but all the Vedic literatures, the Puranas and histories. In all Vedic literatures, Krishna is thus described, and the Supreme Lord himself also says in the 4th chapter, Although I am unborn, I appear on this earth to establish religious principles. He is the supreme origin. He has no cause, for he is the cause of all causes, and everything is emanating from him. This perfect knowledge can be had by the grace of the Supreme Lord. Here Arjuna expresses himself through the grace of Krishna. If we want to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should accept the statements in these 2 verses. This is called the parampara system, acceptance of the disciplic succession. Unless one is in the disciplic succession, he cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. It is not possible by so-called academic education. Unfortunately, those proud of their academic education, unfortunately, those proud of their academic education, despite so much evidence in Vedic literature, stick to their obstinate conviction that Krishna is an ordinary person. Be nice purport. Tribhuvan. Okay, Prabhus. Now we need to go to Sikshastakam prayers because I have to go to the kitchen to do cooking. Or I had to go help. It's like in the middle. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam Shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पितानि अमिता स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन्ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशमिह जानिनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना मानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरि. Okay, who wants to read next one?
नधरम नदनम न सुंदरीम कविताम जगदीश कामये ओम जन्मनि जन्मनि ईश्वरे भवताद भक्ति रहे तो की तोई.
Thank you, Prabhu. ऐनन्ततनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधो कृपा तव पादपङ्कजास्तिदधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तय.
नयनम गलदस्तुधाया वदनम गतगतिरुद्धया गिरा पुलकैर्निजितं वपुः कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति.
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रविर्षायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे.
आश्लिष्यवापादरतं पुण्यष्टुमाम् अदर्शनात् मन्महतं हतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मधुप्राणनाथस्तु स एव न परः.
Haribo. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to quickly approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, and somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my eyes choke up and when will the hair of my body stand on in the recitation of your holy name?
O Govinda, feeling your separations, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he is a living, so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or make me broken hearted by not being present for me, he is completely fit to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Haribol, Sri Siksastakam Kijai. Okay, now the 10 offenses to the holy name. First offense, to blaspheme the devotees who had dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
To consider the names of demigods like Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu.
To disobey the orders of the spiritual master, to consider him an ordinary being.
To blaspheme the Vedic scripture or scripture in pursuance to Vedic origin.
To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination.
To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord.
To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name.
To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as spiritual activities Karmaganda.
To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instruction on this matter, it is also an offense to be inattentive or chanting. Even devotees, every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Ratna Prem.
Haribol. Let us offer our humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like desired trees, who can fulfill all desires and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls.
Om Kalpatarubhyascha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha,
Kripasinubhyaya
Patitanam Pavanebhyo,
Bhavanam
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavyo
Namaha.
Namo Namo.
Nanda Gaudiya Vaishnavinda ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much for your kind association, Prabhus.